Good morning, everybody. Hope we're having a nice day. And to our Muslim brothers out there and our Muslim sisters out there, I'm saying happy Salah in advance. You understand? Happy Salah, Eid in advance. Okay, so yes, can see some of us who've joined. Um, Abimaje Kadri, good morning. Ali Bode said good morning. Anayo Chukwu Anyang, good morning. Anthony Kayode, good morning. Blessed, good morning. Chinedu, good morning. Emmanuel, good morning. Gabriel AGK, good morning. James Otegbayo, good morning. Okay. Jefta, good morning. Namdi Mbata, good morning. Nwayo Onye Bolise, good morning. Okay. Olariwaju Benga, good morning. Patience, Mark Angeline, good morning. Philip Amas, good morning. Soji Obilana, good morning. Can see Soyemi Adeleke, good morning. Okay, so I'm seeing Techno Spark 3 Pro. All right, good morning too. Villanon V651L, good morning to you too. Okay, so as of now, as far as you hear me calling your name, yes, good morning. And for those that are just joining us, that are able to hear me calling their name, I'm still acknowledging you for joining. Good morning to you too. You understand? I acknowledge every one of you. Thank you for joining this morning's MMR. I'm going to be our pilot for today's morning market review. My name still remains Josh FX. You understand? Okay, so Akodiola Komi Joshua is the full name, but Josh FX, yes, that's my name. That's me. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the market to understand what has actually been happening. But before we do that, I would like us to come to the chart section and just drop it there for me, loud and clear. If you're able to hear me loud and clear, just come to the chat section and drop it for me, loud and clear. Okay, I can see Olariwaju Gbenga saying, good morning, sir. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you too, Mr. Olariwaju Gbenga. Thank you for joining this morning's market review. All right, I can see he's also dropping it loud and clear. Loud and clear. I love that. So please, I still need one or two more response, loud and clear, to know that everybody is hearing me clearly from their own end. You know, you can hear me loud and clear from your end. Please just drop it at the chat section, loud and clear. Please do me that, please. Do me that quickly, so then we move into the real deal. Look at what the matter will be saying. Okay, I can see Namdi Mbata raising up his hands. Please come to the chat section and just drop it for me there. Let me know what exactly the issue is. So if it's something I can do from my own end, I'll give you an explanation or direction of how to do that. Yeah. So please, yes, loud and clear. I'm waiting. I've only gotten one response from Mr. Olariwaju Gbenga. Please, I need more response. Please kindly respond to me. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Please kindly respond. I'm waiting for us. I'm waiting for that response, please. Loud and clear so that we can move on, please. Thank you very much if you're able to do that. Please do that for me. Yes, do that for me, loud and clear. I can only see one, you understand? And I would love to have more than one response, so I will know everybody is together with me. Everybody can hear me from their own end. And if you're unable to hear me from your own end too, one of the things I would advise you do is maybe change your location. You understand? Change your location. Once you change your location, switch off your device and on it again. And I think that should be okay with that. You understand? That should help you out on that. But please and please, yes, I'm only having one response. We're not responding. So it means something is wrong somewhere. So I need response. Oh, it's not just Mr. Olariwaju Gbenga that is hearing me, right? I need us to respond so that I'll know that, yes, I have more than one person. Okay, Sir Weasel raised his hands. All right, please, it's not just about raising your hands, please. Come to the chat section and drop it for me. You have a chat section there. Drop it to me. Drop it to me. If you look at it there, you see my name there. Olakomi Akande is there. Please drop it there. Don't just raise up the hands for me. Don't just raise it up for me. Please drop me a chat so that I will know what you're saying. But raising up that hands is not going to help. Okay. All right. Very good. I'm seeing another one, okay, saying loud and clear. All right, thank you very much. I think I'm okay with that, loud and clear. So I'm going to move up with that. So anybody that has anything to say, please go to the chat section and drop it. So yes, we're starting now for real. First thing first, we're going to be looking at the aspect of fundamentals. We'll see what has been happening in the market, because I remember the last time we had this discussion, I said, this market is currently moving fundamentally. Most of the things we've been seeing in the market now is based on fundamentals. You understand? The market has been moving fundamentally, but I'm not still striking out technicals because technicals is the main move, you understand? But most of the dancing up and down that I've been seeing is due to the trade war going on from President Donald Trump and different issues like that. So let's start. Let's look at what it's been like in the aspect of fundamentals. All right, so I'm sharing my screen with us now, and we're getting there. Okay, let's go with us. So yes. I believe you all can see my screen from wherever you are now. So yesterday, let's start with yesterday and see what happened. As of yesterday, we had news coming out on GBP, that's the construction PMI, came out positive for them. Then by 1:15, we had euros dropping the main refinancing rate and monetary policy statement. And before now, we already by weekend, around Saturday last week, we got information saying that the European Union were trying to cut down on their hikes in terms of interest rate, and we're expecting that the price of the value of euros should drop if they are dropping their interest rate. But no, it didn't happen that way, because that same weekend we had President Trump increasing tariff on steels, you understand, to 50%. And that alone battered reaction, even though President Trump had been told by the Fed court saying that he didn't have powers to do that. You understand? All these things are part of the things that has actually been moving the market. You understand? So now, by the next day of that, by Monday, rather than we having euros dropping in strength, rather increased in strength, because retaliation started to follow. Do you understand? The European Union actually followed. You understand? So that on its own. So by the time interest rate dropped as at yesterday, they cut their interest rate. If you're looking at it, previously it was 2.40%. You understand? It was 2.40%. But as it is now, what happened? They cut the interest rate, reducing it by how many percent? Look at it. If you're seeing it with me, you see what we're saying there. It was 2.40 and it was reduced to 2.15. So it means they reduced it by 25 basic points. You understand? 25 basic points. And that was what battered the actual then at 2.15, because it was forecasted that, yes, that's what they're going to reduce it by, and it came out. That's why it came out neutral. But still, it still went up, pushing euros up. And by 1:30 p.m., we had the unemployment claims coming out on the US. And now it shows that the number of people claiming to be unemployed is high, 247,000 people. Now, that is a negative reaction to the economy of the US. You understand? So that also pushed euros up, giving euros. Now, for those that look at the likes of instrument like Euro USD, you discover that the instrument was just pushing up. It pushed up all through. You understand? Then by 1:45 p.m., we had the ECB press conference and the likes, you understand, coming together, speaking and the like. Then around that time too, we had President Trump also calling the president of China to, they had their own conversations, and all these were part of the things that pushed the market up on euros. You understand? We're going to be seeing it on the chart by the time we start looking out for technicals to see what is going to happen. But today, not to forget, we have important news coming out today, and that also is going to move the market. First thing first, by 1:30 p.m. this afternoon, we are having employment change and unemployment rates coming out. Then by that same time, we also have news coming out on the USD. That's the average hourly earnings, the non-farm employment change, and the employment rate. That's NFP, and this is a volatile news. Yes, we've been expecting that dollars is supposed to be strong, but for one reason or the other, happening from President Trump and remaining the likes, a lot of things like that has also been affecting the market, and it's been pushing the market to move. In fact, for most of us, you see, one of the things that actually helps in this market is this. You're not going to just look at just the technical part alone. You also have to look at information coming out around the world. These are part of the things that moves the market. When we talk about market drivers, influencers of the market, when you're looking at influencers of the market, you look out for fundamentals, technicals, and sentiment. You understand? All these things are part of the things affecting the market. I'm also looking at some certain instrument that will be moving very well today. Instrument like indices. The US index, I'm emphasizing that it's going to have a powerful move. Not just because of that, but we've been having some discussions or some reactions from President Trump and even one of his allies. You understand? One of his allies, they've been bantering each other. You understand? Somebody like Elon Musk, you understand? We've been having situations like that coming up. Yesterday, it was released on CNN that Elon Musk was criticizing President Trump. You understand? In fact, okay, some of the stuff that was seen was one of it was first, it says President Trump's big, beautiful bill is projected to increase the debt by $3 trillion with interest, or 5 trillion if made permanent, according to estimate. That's one. Another one that was seen was even by Elon Musk that was talked about yesterday. He was even saying that was posted on his X account, saying that he's sorry, but he can't just stand it anymore. That the massive outrageous pork-filled congressional spending bill is disgusting. You understand? And all these things are part of things that is going to react, that is going to cause some reaction in the market. And President Trump too also reacted to some of those statements too. In fact, part of it was Elon Musk was even saying without him, Trump would not have won the election. He would have lost and all those things. Okay. Now, President Trump now reacted. He said one of it was he was very disappointed in Elon Musk, and he has helped him a lot, and he knew his inner working of the bills better than anybody. You understand? And it was not like he had no problem with it, and all of a sudden there's problem. And part of the things he's now saying is he's looking at what he said all of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out they are going out to court EV mandates. You see, some of these things are part of the things that is going to affect the market, you understand? Because now in his own circles, he's beginning to have people tackling him, and that alone too will also cause the market to move on USD indices, because Elon is someone that we know is in terms of tech, you understand? So I'm also looking at instruments like US 100, US 30, US 500, and US 2000. Also, in fact, majorly indices too is going to move. And you see, all these things too is going to cause reaction on instruments like commodities like gold and the likes, because they are paired with dollars and everything. But all in all, we keep our fingers crossed, because, you know, nobody knows which direction the market is going to move, depending on the reaction or the news that is being given out. You understand? So yes, these are the volatile news we are having for today. So let's watch out for 1:30 today. 1:30 today, and we know the drill. Once the news comes, the actual is released, and you're seeing green, it means it is good for that particular instrument. You should buy that instrument that is paired. You know, whichever instrument you're seeing now that the news is coming out on is known as the base. You understand? And we say the base is the determinant of the kind of trade you place. So also look out for whichever instrument you're going to pick that is paired with. If these instruments are the base, they are going to determine the drivers. And if it's on the quote, you understand? Even if these instruments are the quotes, then it means they are indirect drivers, you understand? So what are you going to do for instrument like USD CAD or CAD JPY or CAD CHF, you understand? Since CAD is the base, if it's coming out green, it means you should buy it, you understand? But for instrument like Euro CAD is now on the quote. If it comes out positive, how do you buy it? You do what? You sell that instrument. That's the way it is. And I believe we all know the drill. So let's just watch out for 1:30. You understand? By 1:30, you know what to do on that. Okay? That's that for all the volatile news that will be coming out for today. So let's just watch out, and let's be risk cautious too on this. And we'll move to technicals. We'll move to technicals and see what is happening in the market technically. Let's see what is happening in the market technically. All right. So I'll be sharing my screen for us to see. I'm still with us, please. All right. So first thing first, like we all know the drill. I, for one, will be starting with Euro USD. I'm a man of currency. I love currency by default. Currencies is always my thing. I love trading currencies. I'm a man of currencies. You understand? So we're starting with Euro USD. So let's look at it. As of yesterday, looking at it now, I'm looking at it. Yesterday, day before yesterday, the market moved up. Look at it. From this point, pushed up to this high. This high was a resistance for that particular point. So we had a minor reversal, pullback. You understand? Then yesterday, again, from this point, pushed up. And it got to this particular high. You understand? So what are we expecting today again? Can you see it has dropped back even to around this position now? It's still trying to push. Yes, it is expected for dollars to be strong, but for one reason or the other, it's not strong. Now, depending on the news that will be coming out today, we could have Euro USD pushing down or pushing up, you understand? But let's look at what the market is going to do technically before that time. Let's look at it before that time. Let's see. Are we expecting the market to push up or to push down? Let's see. So first thing first, I'm going on my daily time frame to know how the market has been. What has been the move of the market? I'm zooming out. So if you look at it, price has actually pushed up for a while. Look at from this point, it came down to this point. Now price pushed up. And if you look at it based on what we are saying here, price got to this point and pushed up a little above, but now it's back to that around that same point. What are we expecting? Are we expecting price to break above this point? This is on my daily time frame. Can you see? But even as it is now, as far as price is unable to break above this section on daily time frame, we're expecting price to pull back. But based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, price has been pushing up even on, this is it. Price has been pushing up even on the daily time frame. Can we see it? Price has been pushing up. It's been moving up of this point. So we're expecting price. Is price going to come down to this point? Maybe. But if it gets to this point, are we expecting it to break below or push higher? Now, these are some of the things we need to look at. Price, based on what we're seeing on this trend, is giving us a bullish movement. You understand? It's giving us that bullish move based on what we're saying here. Price has been pushing up. Price has been respecting the zones. Can you see? It's been respecting that zone. So even if this price is coming down, we expect that it's going to have a reaction around this point. You understand? We're expecting that price should have reaction around this point because this point is a dynamic support zone. You understand? Look at it very well. Yes, that's why I'm zooming it in so we can see it. It's a dynamic support zone. Is price going to break below it? Nobody knows until price comes below this point and closes. Now, if price is able to close below this point, we're expecting it to get down to around this support zone. You understand? But as far as that is unable to happen, it could break above this point and still push higher. So let's go to our lower time frame now. Based on what we're seeing around this point, based on what we're seeing now, yes, based on what we're seeing now, are we expecting price to sell based on where price is? I'm not going to be giving us any definite trade saying you should buy or sell now. We need to hold it straight. So this is it. This is one point. So if price is able to break below this particular section here successfully, then we could expect price to drop. But if that is not the case, we could have price getting to this point and reversing back to the upside. So let's wait and see. This zone here is actually holding price, and we can see that price is struggling around this point. So what are we waiting for? Let's wait for price to get down below this point, or else, as far as price is unable to break below this point, we could have price reversing back to the upside. So on Euro USD, I'm advising we hold on and see if as far as once price breaks below this point, then we could expect price to push down. But if that does not happen, we could have a continuation back to the upside, because based on what we are seeing here, price has gotten to this higher, it has pulled back to this point. I, for one, would have expected that Euro USD should go down, but based on the whole trade war between the European Union and the US economy, or the president of the US, this has actually battered some reaction. So let's hold on and see. Is price going to break below this? If price is able to break below this point successfully, we could have price selling down. You understand? So let's watch out for these points. The next instrument we'll be looking at is GBP USD. But before that is being done, let's even go to our currency strength meter. Let's look at the strength of our currencies as of this morning before we continue. You're still with us? Okay, so currency strength meter. Yes, fresh. So if you look at it, as of this morning, the strongest of all instruments is NZD. AUD-USD is also losing strength. As you can see the red arrow on it, also pointing that the currency strength is dropping. CAD, who is the second strongest based on what we're seeing, is also dropping in strength. USD is the third strongest and is also dropping in strength. Euros and GBP is also dropping in strength. CHF is just where it is. It's not showing any sign of dropping, but JPY is the weakest of them all. You understand? So based on what we're seeing, AED CAD, Euro, GBP, USD, they are all dropping strength currently. You understand? They are the ones dropping strength currently. But let's see, is the market reacting that way? Let's go back and see what is happening technically now. Let's continue technically and see. Okay, so based on what we're saying, Euro USD, we expect price to sell once it breaks below this point. But if that does not happen, as far as it's unable to break below this particular section where it is, then price is going to be having issues around this point. If it doesn't break below this point successfully, then price is going to what? Move back to the upside. But once he is able to break into this particular zone, we're expecting price to come down, break below the zone, and go down. But if that does not happen, we could have price reversing back to the upside, gaining more strength. Okay, that's that on Euro USD. Let's look at the next instrument, which is GBP USD. So GBP USD also give us the same movement like Euro USD, you understand, for the pounds. But as of this morning, can you see, based on what we're seeing on candle zero, price is having issues around this point. And just like I said, unless he's able to break below this zone successfully, it's not going anywhere. Price got to this particular high, got rejected at that point, dropped and dropped and dropped, has pulled back. So I believe price is going to have issues around this point. Unless he's able to break below this point successfully, we might still have price pushing up. Let's look at it based on what we're seeing on daily time frame. Now, can you see, based on daily time frame, it has gone up for a while. You understand? It's been pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. Can you see it coming? Let me point it out for us. Nice, very good. Okay, so look at it. Based on this, coming, stay with us. Okay, so let's zoom out and see what is happening here. Can you see? This particular point, price got rejected, is a zone. You understand? It's a zone. So if price is able to break above this point, then we're expecting price to still push up. But as far as price is unable to break above that point, we are expecting price to what? To drop. You understand? We're expecting price to drop. So around this point, price got rejected. You see, price is respecting the zones. And one of the interesting things about currency is this: currencies respect zones more. So are we expecting a push up on this price? Are we expecting a push up on this price? We have to wait and see what price wants to do. Price is respecting that zone. So this could be a minor pullback, and once it pulls back a little, there could be a strong momentum for price to go up. Okay, we could see a strong momentum for price to go up. This is what we're seeing based on what, on 4 hours time frame. Can you see price has gotten to this point where there's a zone? In fact, I would expect that on 4-hour time frame, this is it. You can see there's a small zone around this point. So if price gets to this point and it gets rejected, it could go back up. You understand? It could go back to the upside based on what we are seeing here. Unless price is able to break below this part, then it comes down. I'm not expecting it to come down. So this might just be a minor pullback. And based on the news that is coming out today, nobody knows the direction of the news, if it's going to give strength to the dollars or it's going to take away the strength from dollars. So based on that, if we're trading, we need to be very, very cautious. You understand? We need to be trade cautious. But one of the things, as far as we're looking at it technically, as far as it's unable to break below this part, I expect price to push up. This is that zone. As far as unable to break below this particular zone here, I'm expecting price to what? Go back up. This particular point is a strong point, and we can see when price came down to this point, price is now respecting this point. So yes, as far as it's unable to break below this zone, I'm expecting price to push back to the upside. That's that on GBP USD. Let's look at USD JPY. USD JPY. Okay. USD JPY. So looking at USD JPY as of this morning, USD JPY has currently gained strength. You understand? As at yesterday, it gained strength, pushed up a little. Now, can you see this is on my 1-hour time frame? Day before yesterday, it lost strength, came down to this particular support zone here, which is what we're saying, gain strength. Now it's trying to push back up to the upside. So as of this morning, now we're expecting it based on what it's giving us from this morning, it's still trying to push up. So yes, price can still go up on USD JPY. In fact, I'm coming. Okay, coming. Let's look at this. Yes, I'm coming. Let's look at it based on these points. Okay. Now, can you see? Based on what we're seeing now, this is the support and resistance zones being shown here, and you can see it's being shaded out for us to see. Price is in a zone, you understand? It's in this zone, and you can see price is still pushing back because it tried breaking above this particular point, but it could not. Came back and closed within that same point. You understand? So price is trying to push back down. Now, since it's still within this zone, we need to hold on. unless price is able to break above this point and break above this particular red point, this is a strong resistance point. If it's able to break above this point, then at that point, that resistance zone has changed to a support. So we expect price to push up. But as it is now, currently, we are to hold on. We are to wait for it to break outside of that zone. Can you see? It's been having issues within this point. So unless it's able to break above or below this point, we don't expect it to move anyway. It needs to give us a clear direction. It needs to give us a clear direction. You understand? If it doesn't give you that clear direction, it's not moving up. But based on what we're seeing on this 1 hour time frame, price is what? Price is pushing up based on the trend. So is it going to give us that trend? We need to hold on for this particular candle. Candle zero is not giving us that pure thing to help us know that it's going to go up. How? It should break above this zone successfully. If it breaks above it and closes above it, then we can move with that bullish move. You understand? Bullish trend. We can take that point. Okay? So I'm expecting price to break above this part successfully if I want to go for that buy. If I'm to go for that buy, price should break above this point successfully. If it's able to close above this point successfully, then I can go for that bullish move. But unless that happens, if it doesn't happen, I'm not going. I will expect price to drop back. You understand? Okay, that's that on USD JPY. Let's look at USD CHF. USD CHF. Still with us, USD CHF. We'll also look at USD CAD once I'm done. USD CHF. Let's look at USD CHF. Okay. All right. So on USD CHF, I'm on USD CHF now. USD CHF is also giving us almost this. Okay, Victor Edo Ojo, you're raising your hand. Please go to the chat section. Drop the comment for me there to see. Drop the comment for me there to see. Because there's going to be a time that I'm going to, once I've done currencies, I'm done with commodities and indices, we'll have the opportunity to ask questions and the likes. Drop it for me at the chat section. Once you drop it for me at the chat section, once I read it, I'll respond to it. I'll respond to it. Please just drop it for me. All the questions, drop it for me at the chat sections. As far as I'm able to see it, I'll respond to it. So now this is USD CHF, and as we can see on USD CHF, yes, at a point it gapped down, and after that price went back, covered for that gap. Now we can see it has covered for that gap, but there's a zone here. We can see that zone. Okay, so let's look at this. You can see there's a zone around this point. So unless price is able to break above this particular section, I don't expect it to go up. Yes, unless it's able to break above this particular point. But once it's able to break above this particular point, we could have price pushing up. You understand? But if that does not happen, we could have price coming down. I, for one, based on my bias, I'm expecting the price of dollars to be strong. Based on my own bias, I'm expecting it to be strong. But you see, some of the economic decisions, the political decisions of the government and the likes has been one reason that has been making the market to move the way it's moving. Just wake up one morning and you see that Trump has dropped a message. And Trump is one influencer of the market because he himself is also a trader. So he influences the market to move the way he wants or the way he desires. And I feel it's based on his own sentiment. So, everything will also be for profits too, for himself. And I believe that's actually one of the reasons or one of the main things that is affecting this market, you understand? So for me, if it doesn't break above this point, I'm expecting price to do what? To go down. But once it breaks above this point, I'm expecting a push up on price. You understand? But as of now, we are seeing what price is doing. There's a little price is struggling, even pushing up. It's having a hard time pushing up. But let's wait and see. If price is able to break above this point, then we're expecting that bullish move on USD CHF. That's that for USD CHF. Let's look at USD CAD. USD CAD. USD CAD. Okay, on USD CAD now. So if you look at USD CAD, you see that price is currently ranging between two zones here. This is 1 point, yes, and this is another point. based on what we're saying as of this morning. This is one point, this is another point. And just like we all know, ranging market, when market is ranging between 2 points like this, the best thing to do is to hold on. Wait for it to give you a clear movement. How? It closes above this point, you can go for that bullish move. It closes below this point, you go for that bearish move. Ranging market are known as correction zones. Ranging market are known as correction zones. So what you need to do is to wait for it to break out of that ranging zone. Then you take the step with it. You move with it. But if that does not happen, please don't trade it. Yes, look for other instruments to trade on. You understand? For a ranging zone, it is indecisive. That's what it's saying. It's indecisive. So you wait for it to be what? Wait for that particular instrument to take a decision on its move. Then you follow. Yeah, that's the way it's going to be. Thank you very much. Let's move on. Let's move on that. Okay. We look at AUD USD. Let's look at AUD USD. Okay, so on AUD USD, actually, I'm expecting, for one, I have my own bias. I'm expecting price of AUD USD to go down. You understand? I'm expecting it to go down based on my own bias. But even if it's going to go down, even if I'm expecting that bearish move, I will wait for it to break below this particular section here. Should break below this point. As far as price is able to break below this point successfully, then I'm expecting it to go for that bearish move. This is my own pure bias, you understand? I'm expecting price to break below this point. If he's able to break below this point successfully, I'm expecting a bearish move. But unless that is done, it might not. And looking at what we're saying here, we can see that price is getting close to this range and is having issues around this point. Price could range around this point. It could range around this point. No one knows. But the main thing is I'm envisaging for price to break below this point. If it breaks below this point successfully, I'll go for that bearish move. For one, I'm expecting a bearish move. So I'm waiting for it to go below this point. If it's able to go below this point, good and fine. Then I'm expecting a bearish move. But unless that is done, I'm not going for that bearish move. You understand? So AUD USD, I'm looking out for a bearish move. All right, so it's time for us to move to commodities. Let's go to commodities and see what is happening in commodities. Okay, so first on the instrument is gold. Gold. Yes, I'm on gold now. And we've seen different reactions on gold. As yesterday, we had a strong bearish move on gold. It went up and it came down. Now it's pushing up again. And as of this morning, we can see what is happening. Price is also coming down. This is a normal time frame. Look at the way it is. Price is coming down, pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. Okay, fine. So are we expecting it to go down? Currently, where price is getting to, there's a zone there. So as far as price is unable to break below this path, I'm not expecting it to go down. But you know, one of the interesting things that I've seen on gold over time is gold is more of a bullish instrument. It's more of a bullish instrument. The highest it has gone is around that. Let's just say, yeah, it has gone into 3,005. You understand? That's what I'm okay. So, but a lot more still expecting or still emphasizing that it's going to get to 4,000. A lot of people are expecting it to get to 4,000. Well, based on all the things that have been happening, and you see it, yes, it has gotten to 3.5. Yeah, it has gotten to 3.5. So are we expecting price to still push up? Yes, it could still push up, but price is still having some to deal with this particular zone where it is now. So am I expecting price to drop? On gold, I'm expecting a bearish move on gold as of this morning. I'm still expecting a bearish move on gold. I'm expecting it to drop. Yes, based on what I'm saying, it gave me this particular information here, and anybody that had seen this morning and gone for that bearish move would have made some little profit for themselves. So yes, this move is strong. I'm still expecting price to drop to this point, and once it gets to this point is a strong zone. In fact, okay, let me just give it some space. This point is a strong zone. So as far as price does not break below this point, I'm not expecting it to go back down. I'll expect it to push up. As far as price is unable to break below this point, I'll expect price to push up. But Am I expecting price to this point? Sure, I'm expecting it to get to this point. You understand? My take, I'm expecting gold to be bearish to this point. Then at this point, there should be a reversal back to the upside. So my take on it is you could wait for price to get to this point, test this zone, and once it's unable to break this zone, we have that bullish move pushing to the upside. That's my take on gold. I'm expecting a bullish move on gold. Okay. So let's look at another commodity instrument. Let's look at oils. Let's look at oil. Okay. So we're on oil now. Okay. So for me, my bias on oil is bearish. Seriously. I'm expecting my own bias on oil is what? Is bearish. I'm expecting a bearish move on oil. That's my own bias. Based on what I'm seeing, I'm expecting a bearish move on oil. But even if it's going to sell, I'm going to wait for it to break below this point successfully. Once price is able to break below this point successfully, I'll go for that bearish move. As far as able to break below this point, I'll go for that bearish move. I'm expecting the price of oil to drop. That's my own honest and pure reservations about oil. I expect it to drop. You understand? And once price is able to drop below this particular section here, I'm expecting a bearish move. I'm expecting a bearish move on oil. But before you go for that bearish move, hold on for it to break below this point. Because if you look at it, you discover that the very moment it broke above, and all this while it's been testing that particular zone and it's unable to break it. So once it's able to break below this point, I'm expecting price of oil to come down further. So I am looking out for a bearish move on oil. I'm looking out for a bearish move on oil. So this part has been shaded out for us to see. If it's able to break below this part successfully, yes, you could have a little retest to that part. And as far as it does not break into this zone again, the bearish move is what is confirmed. So you go for that bearish move on oil. That's that on oil. Let's look at another commodity instrument. Let's look at wheat. Let's go for wheat. I'm looking out for wheat. Okay. Looking out for wheat. All right, so okay. As of now, on wheat, I'm not seeing the market moving. I think this market is yet to open. So, oh yes, it's open. It's moving. Yeah, I can see it's moving. So if I'm to give my own bias on wheat, what am I expecting? You see, based on the whole reaction of yesterday's news, that was what battered this whole thing. Coming down, going back up, and still coming down. What am I expecting on wheat? I'm expecting a bearish move too. My move on it should be what? Bearish. I'm expecting it to move down. I'm expecting it to go down. But before that happens, I need it to go beyond this point. You understand? Let it go beyond this point because it's gone up for a while now and it has tested this point. So I'm expecting a bearish move on wheat. So what I'll just advise is look out for that best entry point for a bearish move. That's one of the things you need to look out for. Look out for that bearish point around this point here. Around this point, just look out for that bearish move. Once it gives you that bearish move, then you what? You follow. Wheat, I'm expecting a bearish move. That's my own take. That's my own bias. I'm expecting a bearish move on wheat. You understand? I'm expecting a bearish move on wheat. Let's look out for that bearish move. Let's look for a way to get that bearish move on wheat. That's going to be okay. You understand? That's the main thing there. All right. Still with us? Okay. Let's look at indices as of now. Let's go for indices. Let's go for indices. So, coming right. Okay. I'm still with us. Okay. Nice. All right. So we're going to look at all these index. We'll see how it's going to fare now. Okay. So US 100, as you can see, got to this particular zone and it got rejected, trying to push back to the upside, you understand? Yes, came down yesterday as a result of all the whole statement and every reaction happening in the market, and it pushed up, you understand? It's pushing up now to this point. So if it's able to break above this particular zone that is here, I'm expecting a bullish move on US 100. If it's able to break above this point, I expect a bullish move on US 100. You understand? That if dollars is losing strength, these are dollars index, you understand? And one of the interesting thing is this, but when I first started this section with us, I gave us a hint of the whole thing that is happening. You understand? I gave us a whole hint of the whole thing that is happening between Trump and Elon Musk. And Elon is a man of tech. You understand? He's a tech man. And this man's company is also part of this whole US 100 and everything. So we're expecting, if there's going to be a reaction, if dollars is weak, then we should expect US 100 pushing up. But if that does not happen, we could see a reversal back to the downside, you understand? And all these things will be part of the things that will affect the market, you understand? All these things will also affect the market. All right. So let's look at US 32. All these are US index. They are all US index. Let's look at what is happening there on US 30. But I believe US 30, US 100, they're all going to be giving us almost the same vibes. As you can see, it dropped down to, but it's now pushing up. And as of this morning, it's just the same reaction I would expect on them, because it's around the same point, around the same zone. Can you see? There's a zone around this point. So unless he's able to break above this point, we might not have it pushing up. But once he's able to break above it successfully, we will have that continuation in that bullish move. Indices, for me, I believe is going to be pushing up. I, for one, it's more of a buy instrument than sell. If you look at it, in fact, let's go to daily time frame, so we'll see the way it's been moving for a while. Okay, I'm zooming out for us to see. Look at it. Based on what we're saying, it has pushed up to this high, dropped down, and is reversing back. I'm expecting a bullish move on indices. It's more boo, 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 boo. If you look at all the move for a very long time, it's been pushing up. It's more of a bullish instrument than bearish. So that's that for indices. So if you look at US 2002, it's the same thing. That's the strongest of them all. You understand? The most volatile of them all. Still giving that bullish move. So let's wait for it to break above this part successfully. And like we all know, there's news coming out today. It's a volatile news, NFP. You understand? If it says it's going to move, because the last NFP that came out didn't really move, you understand? And some of the things that would have affected is the market must have moved even before that time, maybe a day or two before then. But are we expecting it to move? Yes, I'm expecting that market to move based on the reactions we've been having. You understand? From weekend till this point, I'm expecting this market to move on NFP today. And I'm also expecting it to move technically on its own too. So yes, let's just work out for the US time, you understand, the UK time and everything. We're going to see this market moving. I expect it to move well, you understand? That's my take on US 2002. Okay, so yes, for those of us that have questions, please kindly come to the chat section, start dropping it for me to see. Start dropping it for me to see. Okay, I will Joby Felix, you're saying I should do a recap on gold. I just finished doing that, but I'll do that again. I'll do that again one more time. Okay, I'll do that again one more time. But before that is being done, if you have any question, please kindly come to the chat section, drop it for me. You have any instrument you want us to look at, to check analysis and do emphasize which direction is going to go up to or move to, kindly come to the chat section and drop it so I see. Sir Wizu, you're raising your hands. Please, all those that are raising their hands, don't just raise it. Drop a message for me on the chat box. Drop that for me. Drop that for me. If you do that, I will read it. We have a lot of people that are dropping chats for me, their message for me on the chat section. I read it. So please come to that section and drop it for me. Thank you. All right. I will Joby Felix, gold recap. Okay, I'm on gold. Like I said, I'm expecting gold to push up, right? But even before it's going to pushing up, I'm expecting it to come down to this point where it's been shaded out for us to see. You understand? I'm expecting a drop on price of gold to come to this particular section. This section here is a strong zone. You understand? And once it's able to drop to this section, as far as it does not close below it, you can see the box. As far as it does not drop below this particular box section here, I'm expecting it to reverse back. The only reason why it will not do that is if it comes below this point and it closes below this section, then I'm expecting price to go down, to continue that bearish move. But as far as it respects this zone, we could have price going back to the upside. So that's that on gold, Mr. Awojobi Felix. Okay, thank you. Okay. Codec, he said, websites to get news from Trump, or is it an app? Now, one of the things you need to understand is this. We have a lot of places you can get this news from. You understand? We have a lot of places you can get news from. You just see that as of this morning now, when we wanted to look at for the news that are coming out of today, I went to forexfactory.com. We have investing.com. We have CNBC. Just go online, you see there. You understand? In fact, funny enough, another place you can get some of this news is on Twitter. Go to Twitter, follow some of these strong men like Elon Musk, even Trump himself. They drop, you see them dropping tweets. They tweet. And once they tweet, all these things are part of the things affecting the market. You understand? As of yesterday, too, it was on CNN that it was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? CNN was saying that President Trump was saying the China president is somebody is hard to do business with, that he's stubborn and this. He even placed a call to him yesterday. And some of these things, once it's happening, you see an update, you see breaking news, even on forexfactory.com, you see it there. So all you need to do is to look at for all these websites. You will see it. We have a lot of them. It's not just one. We have fstricks.com. You understand? So you see it there. There's nothing hidden about this news. You understand? And even if you want to look at it on your TV stations, we have channels, we have Arise TV in Nigeria. You can also look out for all these stations for the news too. You understand? They are all there. You will get it there. That's that for that. All right. So I believe I've answered your question, Mr. Codec. Okay. So any other questions? Nobody's dropping any message for me here. Mr. Weasel, you're not dropping the question. Yes, I need you to drop these questions for me. Let me answer, please. Kindly drop it there for me. Kindly drop it there for me. If you're able to drop it there for me, I'll be able to see it. And I'll be able to respond, okay? I'm waiting for that, okay? All right, Weasel, you said, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, you're welcome. He said, please, general chart section seems to be locked for days now. Kindly look into it. No, it's not locked because people have been dropping message for me here, and you to just dropped the message for me. Drop it directly to me and I will respond to it. Drop it directly to me. Drop it directly to me. You understand? If you're dropping directly to me, I'll be able to see it. Now, for the general chat section, yes, maybe you don't have access to that for now. Maybe for now, there's no access to that. And it may be due to technical reasons. Just leave that aside. Just drop the chat section to where I have it here. Okay. I can see Victor Edoju. Okay, Victor Edoju, you've raised up your hands, but you're not saying anything. Drop it on the chat for me. Drop it on the chat for me. That's what I take. I prefer you dropping the chat for me and I'll respond to it. So please come to the chat section, drop your questions for me. And once you're able to drop it for me, I read it, I respond to it. Yes, I still have around some 8 minutes and some seconds with us, and we can still spend this time together. We can still spend this time together, okay? It can still be very, very interesting for us. I believe you all are looking at gold. Yes, look at gold. Now, one of the things, let me just give us this little advice. One of the things you need to understand is this. I, for one, I'm looking out for a buy on gold. So unless it fulfills my request, I'm not going to be doing anything now. You understand? Now we've marked up this point. It's coming down to this point. Is it going to close below this point or above? I'm looking out for two things. If it closes below this point, it means it has broken this zone. So I'll look out for that sell opportunity and I'll take it. But if it doesn't happen like that, let's say it closes just on this same particular section, I'm expecting a bullish move. That's that. So that's the interesting thing about this market. You understand? Cocoa. Okay, you're saying I should comment on Cocoa. Shonwawe is saying, please comment on Cocoa. All right. One of the things we need to understand is this. How do you trade Cocoa? How do you trade Cocoa? All right. So I'm going to open that chart. Then I'll give us some certain stores or points that affects Cocoa. Okay. So let me look out for the instrument Cocoa. You're still with us? Okay, I'm on Cocoa now. Okay. So yes, on Cocoa now. And currently you can see that Cocoa is at this particular strong resistance point. So my take on it is if the price is able to break above this particular section, you could expect a bullish move on cocoa, a continuous. Lillian Onwuka, please drop a chart for me. I can see that you're raising your hands. Please drop a chart for me. Drop your question. So if cocoa is able to break above this part, if the price is able to break above this part, then I'm expecting a bullish move. But unless that is done, I'm not going for that bullish move. That's one. Two, some of the things that affects cocoa is weather and climate. You understand? The weather and climate also affects it. So one of the things I advise is go and look out for the largest producer of cocoa. Go and look out for the largest producer of cocoa, the country that produces cocoa the most. You understand? Once you're able to get that, you understand? Once you're able to get that, you're able to get you're able to get their weather and climate, then you get to know. As of now, around the world, the largest producer of cocoa in the world is Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. You understand? They produce it at a massive ton, you understand, around 2.2 million tons of cocoa beans annually. So go and look out for their weather, you understand? And the next producer is Ghana, you understand? These are the two largest producers of cocoa. We have Ivory Coast and Ghana. So look out for their weather. What is affecting their weather? You understand? If you're able to get that, you will know that whenever it's bad for that weather that supports cocoa to grow, the price is going to be expensive. If once it comes into the time that it's supposed to flourish, it's going to be cheap. You understand? So look out for that. That's one good indicator on how to trade cocoa. Yes. So I've given you a point on that. The largest producer of cocoa is Ivory Coast and Ghana. You understand? Ivory Coast first, then followed by Ghana. And funny enough, it used to be Nigeria. Nigeria gave them the cocoa itself. Nigeria gave it to them. Unfortunately, Nigeria is not the largest as of now. Okay, that's that. Okay. Alebode says, please, can you extend the review on USD JPY starting from daily time frame? Okay, let's look at USD JPY daily time frame. On daily time frame, look at it. This is it on daily time frame. And if you look at it on daily time frame, you discover that price has actually been dropping for a while. It has dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. So even if you want to take it, so this is it. Let's look at this. This is it here. This is that particular zone on daily time frame. It got here sometimes ago, went up, came back to that same point, and it got rejected. You understand? So even if price is going to get back to this point, I'm expecting it to do what? To go back to the upside on USD JPY. Yes, price is dropping as of now. Based on the trend, price has been coming down as of now. But one of the things you need to understand is this: the trend can be bearish. The trend can be bearish. It doesn't mean that in that bearish move, there's still a bullish move. You understand? Just that the bullish movement is not going to be that strong, except for some times that, yes, it could now be strong in terms of what? It could break the structure and start a new structure. You understand? So, and nobody knows what price is going to do, but we trade this market based on the zones. You understand? So, based on what we are saying here, I will expect that price of USD JPY should go up, right? But for that to happen, it has to break above this point that has been pointed out. If it doesn't break above this section, I'm not expecting it to go up. I'm expecting a bearish move. That's my take on it. As far as it does not break above this point, I'm expecting a bearish move back to the downside. So that's that on USD JPY. Okay. All right. Says, sir, please, what is the best recommended instrument to trade during NFP? Mr. Emmanuel Owoyele, the best instrument for you to trade during NFP is the instrument of your choice. The instrument of there's no instrument. See, NFP is based on who? The news is based on USD. So this is what I'm going to tell you. Look out for all the instrument that is affected by USD. Look out for all the instrument that is affected by USD. Which one do you like the most? That should be your preference. Yes, is it USD JPY? Is it USD CAD? Is it USD CHF? Is it Euro USD? Is it GBP USD? These are currency instruments, you understand? Is it USD ZAR? Is it USD PLN? Is it indices? Talk about gold. Is it no, sorry. Commodity, that's when we talk about gold. Indices, you talk about US 100, US 30, US 500, US 2000. These are instruments that are affected by NFP. You understand? So pick your own choice. I, for one, cannot tell you that this is the best instrument. You understand? Everybody have their own bias. I have my own bias and my own choice. You see, one man's food is another man's poison. So I can't tell you to do what you don't want. You understand? The instrument I might pick now might not be the instrument you like. And that might be the instrument that gives me more profit than yours. So the one that gives you the profit the most, that's the one I would advise you to go for. That's the one I would advise you to go for. So that's that, Mr. Emmanuel Owoyele. Yeah, thank you. So as it is now, this is 8:59, so I'll call it a day with us. But at the same time, my advice to us is this. Let's look out for the news that is coming, you understand? Let's watch out. And let's also be very, very calm on that. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, everyone. I can see Ajo, okay, Ajo Loluwa. I can see Akin's vibes, Alibode Isedu Amadi. I'm not able to call everybody's name, but one of the things I'm going to, well, this is what I'm going to say. Everybody that joined today, yeah, Ajola Oluwa, Abiejolo Oluwa, Samuel. Thank you, or Sunday, yes. Thank you for joining. Everybody that joined, thank you. And for those that was unable to pronounce their name very well, please, I'm sorry about that, but you know, all is just to acknowledge you. Betsy and the likes, Blessed, Donye, David, yes, Daniel Egenti, Kechuku Johnson, Bola Yusuf, Jonathan, John, Obani, Patience, Mark, Angeline, Peter Easy, Pastor Luke, Krutimi, Lamidi, Soji, Obilana, everybody, Yinka Lawal, ESQ, Victor Adem Yombo, everybody, thank you for joining us for this morning's market review. Watch out for 1:30 for the NFP, you understand? And please also know that the market closes by 10 p.m. Today is a Friday. So see you same time next week from Monday. You understand? You're going to be having the money market review again by 8. Bye for now.